strong.
Welcome back to Crypto for Freedom, where we talk about gaining financial freedom through the cryptocurrency markets. If you could please like the video, that'd be amazing if you like the content. All right, let's jump into the video. Now, a few days ago, Dogecoin had a massive drop on the daily. Look at that, 60% drop on the daily chart. It was pretty much a scam wick. The price recovered right away. Look at that, 100%. So if you would have put a limit order in down here, man, that would have been crazy if you would have had a limit order in under 10 cents. That's why, yeah, it's always good to have money on the sideline. That way you can put limit orders in and buy the dip. And the thing is, we're still in a bull run. So in my opinion, zooming out on the weekly chart, we can see that every single time that Dogecoin has come down to the bottom of this channel, within 1 month, we made it to the top of the channel. Again, it happened over here in June of 2025. Within 1 month, we made it to the top of the channel. And again, it happened right over here just in October, 2 days ago. So within 35 days, we could see the price come all the way back up to the top of this channel. It's happened over and over and over again. And the trend is your friend until the end. So in my opinion, we're going to see higher prices here. And we're going to see the price rebound back up to probably close to 33 cents within the next month. And then depending on what Bitcoin decides to do, whether it's going to break out of this ascending triangle into a super cycle, or it's going to follow the traditional 4-year cycle and peak out after 560 days after the halving and head back down to a bear market. Now, in my opinion, I think with all the institutional adoption and game theory playing out right before our eyes, there is a chance that we see a super cycle blow off top for Bitcoin and have the price come up to anywhere from $180,000 to $250,000 per coin, especially because if you zoom out on the monthly chart, you can see that Bitcoin's been forming this massive head and shoulders pattern. And the target for the breakout is from the neckline to the head, from the breakout. And that would bring Bitcoin all the way up to potentially close to $300,000 per coin, and actually lines up with the stock to flow model to see Bitcoin come up to 300K. And if that were to happen, we could see Dogecoin enter this, banana zone and come up and make a new all-time high, which would not surprise me whatsoever, considering that Dogecoin has made a new all-time high in each one of its previous bull runs, back here in 2021 and back here in 2017, having consecutive all-time highs in each cycle. And if Dogecoin wasn't going to come up and see a new all-time high this cycle, that would really surprise me. Now, are you guys bags packed, or have you already sold and you're ready for the bear market? Personally, my bags are still packed, but I've been taking profits over time. I've been buying Dogecoin ever since back over here in October of 2022. And I'm up on my position, but if I would have just been in Bitcoin at that same time in October of 2022, I would have been up a lot more. So I've learned a lot of lessons in this market, and I've made a lot of mistakes. And I'm continually learning from my mistakes, and I really have learned that Bitcoin is king. And with the 21 million supply cap with Bitcoin, that is going to protect me from inflation, and living on a Bitcoin standard is going to make my life cheaper over time, where if I live on a fiat standard, my life is going to be more expensive over time. Ever since I've been in crypto, my life has gotten substantially better, from buying crypto in this area to going all the way up here. Even if we go into a 1-year bear market right now and the price comes down to this green line, I'm still going to be above where I bought at, and I'm just going to continue to work hard and continue to buy my Bitcoin for life-changing wealth, and ready to see the price come up, by the next halving in April of 2028. And, we could be seeing $150, $160, $200,000, Bitcoin stable by then. And, who knows how high it's going to go, because it's the hardest, scarcest asset. And as people start to wake up to the fact that, the government is doing so much money printing and devaluing the dollar. I mean, take a look at the dollar, how fast it leaves your bank account. It's basically worthless. And, when you own Bitcoin and Dogecoin cryptocurrency assets, it actually incentivizes you to hold, because it's actually worth value. And, when you see a dip, you don't really want to sell the dip, so it incentivizes you to hold there. And you also want to buy the dip, which you can get cheaper coins and, ride that up and make money on that. So, as we see adoption happen with Bitcoin and Dogecoin, those are the two assets that I want to be in moving forward, so I can see life-changing wealth into the future and not have to continue working the 9-to-5 rat race. Now, heading over to the Doge Bitcoin chart, we can see that, Doge has still been losing value ever since 2021 compared to Bitcoin. And we just made a lower high on this yellow dot at the peak for Dogecoin back in 2024. And since then, Dogecoin has actually lost 58% against Bitcoin. And I think it'll actually continue to lose value against Bitcoin, continuing to make lower highs for the next 900 and for the next 1,066 days. That's where Dogecoin will finally come up and make a higher high against Bitcoin, breaking out of this downtrend, and coming up to make a higher high against Bitcoin. But that won't happen until, possibly mid to late 2028. But the thing is, you need to hold your bags, you guys, hold your convictions, have strong, solid conviction in your play, live debt free, have an emergency fund, continue to have 1, 2, 3, 5 multiple streams of income coming in. That way you can dollar cost average into the market over time, having your emergency fund to protect your assets, having your income to protect your assets, having no debt. That way you don't have payments going out every single month. And, the borrower is slave to the lender. And if you don't have those payments going out, then you're going to be able to actually take that money and turn around and buy Bitcoin and Dogecoin cryptocurrency assets and store those on hardware wallets for long-term, wealth accumulation. And that's my plan. And that's going to continue to be my plan, because I don't want to be a slave to the system anymore, working for, these corporate greed entities that want to just keep me poor, so that way they can, get their shareholders more rich at the expense of everybody else. And, there's a lot of shady stuff going on in the background. So I'm going to do my best to protect myself. That means buying Bitcoin and Dogecoin cryptocurrency assets. And Bitcoin dominance is still staying pretty elevated right now. So Bitcoin does still have a lot of dominance in the market. Bitcoin just came up and made a higher low here, which is a good sign. And it was a really actually very healthy retracement, 5% after it hit that low. So that's a pretty decisive higher low. So could we see a downtrend here for Bitcoin dominance, especially if, we do end up seeing a super cycle and the Fed ends up cutting rates to, down to 2% or lower, and Dogecoin pushing up to a new all-time high. Now, if you guys like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And remember that none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research. It's important to understand what you're investing. Check out all my videos in the playlist down below and the links in the description. And like and subscribe for more. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.